Hello, hello, and welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode. Yeah, the leading LV stuff feels great. Uh, I haven't done too much, but we do have some steps of progress going on, and some of that is what you see here. I had to do a whole bunch of mining, to say the least, because some of these next steps are a little bit crazy. Uh, as you can see here, we have a lot going on. But I got some monazite dust, and I'm getting some rare earth and some phosphate. And this is all to bolster our system over here. And I did expand on this system as well. So let's go through that first and foremost. Everything else is the same, but I did add another electrolyzer at the end here, and that's going to handle our rare earth. So our rare earth, when you look at it in the centrifuge, gives you a whole bunch of outputs of a whole different bunch of different things. A lot of these are okay. Some of them are, they're all needed, right? But I ultimately added them to our packager assembly line here. So we have all 6 here, and I bumped up our outputs of manganese and luminescence and etc. up top. But one of the big ones that we were after was yttrium out of this for right now, and that's pretty straightforward. The other thing too, obviously, I mean, phosphate is so key because the phosphorus is going to be a problem for a very long time, from the looks of it anyways. So at least some good resources overall. I did add a thermal centrifuge on the HV line here just to continue to work and process certain things that get benefit from doing so. And then I got ourselves the Nichrome Coil blocks as well, which is pretty darn awesome. So we got that one done. That's good. I got the rare earth, as we just saw. The barium as well. I got some barium somewhere. I don't remember where. Barite led to barium. Something like that. Anyways, we got it. From barite ore, basically. And we got the yttrium, which we just saw. I did get some boron as well. Again, this is a byproduct of a lot of headache, like centrifuged lipidolite, stuff like that is really kind of the best way to get it. So we got some boron, and I did make some hard carbon, which is just diamonds and steel in an HV. So pretty straightforward. The next step on that whole train is to make tough alloy, which is ferroboron with lithium. So that's boron with steel and lithium. Well, there we go. We got some ferroboron. That's good. And the tough alloy now needs lithium. And I think one of the products, mica dust, I think, gave me some lithium here. So I'll use that up first before we even go into our supplies upstairs. So we'll put those in there like so and get that process started as well. Other than that, we got lots of goodies coming through here. We got some borax dust, which is going to be helpful. We'll need that one right away. We are getting a lot of stone dust all the time, and centrifuge salt ore, which I think this one also gives me more borax. So let's put that in our macerator here. Look at all this stuff. It's all purified redstone ore too. It's crazy. We get some thorium. We're getting some stuff, right? Ultimately, and yeah, there's a lot of it. All right, there we go. We got some tough alloy as well. Again, these are kind of just nice things to grab because we need to get a few other things before we can continue on with this. But it's a good idea to keep an eye and start some of it as well. I did finally process those 4 primal mana that I had on me into a tank here. As you can see, I have 1 bucket of primal mana there. And then I've made myself also some hydrofluoric acid, which is this guy right here. And that is just adding some fluorine to hydrogen. Pretty straightforward, right? Nothing too crazy. And then from there, I made the elemental reduction just to have it. I don't plan on using it ever, so as you can see, it's not here. It's actually right over here in this drum. So a couple of details there to also kind of go through and process. Other than that, we've been only somewhat busy. We did get ourselves set up. Our canthel's full. Our stainless steel here is full. Our nichrome's looking at about halfway. I did automate some soul sand, and I did that actually through ME. So I did a crafting card with soul sand, and I just kind of put a soul sand crafting with hellish matter and sand into there to make that soul sand. And then from there, I used one of these fancy new limited item filters with soul sand and gold to make solarium, so that we have solarium on hand. And then I proceeded to do the same with another limiter, which I really like these limited item filters, for some stainless steel foils for the Nichrome coil blocks. So a lot of really, really good things that have happened, to say the least, in the last little bit. Now, the next thing on the list, let's just take a quick glance. We got the 3 green ones, late game. I got the 64 Nichrome ingots, that's good. I got a few, I think. Caesium dust, cerium dust. There's probably the other ones as well. I wonder if I go and grab like 64 of each one, if you know what I mean. If that'll just do its thing. More salt ore, please. Let's go. All the salt. All the salt. All right. I'm going to grab that stone dust as well. On our way, and all of this guy. And we'll get 2 more of those started up. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of manual processing, to say the least. And it's not ideal. It's not perfect by any means, but it is getting the job done, at least for now. Let's see. If I take out 64 of you, no quest. 64 samarium, no quest. 64 lanthanum, no quest. Oh, yeah, there we go. Quest, nice. Cerium, neodymium, and cadmium. Excellent. Cool. What about like this? I haven't even checked this. We're good? We're good? We're good? Okay, cool. A couple more quests accomplished just by grabbing the items that we already have. So that's one of those fun little things. All right, cool. Last but not least that we did was titanium tetrachloride. Okay, now titanium tetrachloride is our next step into actual production of titanium. And titanium is a very nice resource that we need with our, canthal coil blocks to process, so that we can get ourselves some EV machine hulls. And what is my goal? What is my true goal here? Well, that's pretty simple. I want to be able to get that angel ring that we talked about. And that angel ring that we talked about requires the prescient crystal, which requires a soul binder, which requires all of these solarium plates, this soul machine chassis, heads of various things, and the tungsten steel. The tungsten steel, this guy right here, is my target. All right. Well, tungsten requires EV machine hulls. So, and nichrome coil blocks. So we're going to get ourselves the EV machine hull here shortly. Let me just finish off this phosphate like so. Excellent. And we will put away a couple of things. I need to package up all these goodies, all this borax and stuff. Everything else, that tough alloy and things like that we started off with, they're going to be nice to have. Don't get me wrong, but we don't need them anytime soon. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. We'll just do this 1, 2, 3, and 4 borax dust. Nice. All right. So very good stuff. Lots to do, lots to process, all things considered, but we will get there. I'm just going to put it in there and I'll deal with it later. All right. Other than that, we are good to go on a couple of things. So first things first, we need the titanium tetrachloride, right? Well, titanium tetrachloride is done in a chemical reactor, and we need chlorine. Luckily, we have, oh, just a little bit of it, to say the least. We'll just grab a tank of it. And then we're going to need carbon dust. I think it's 8 with 4 rutile dust. All right. And again, you can kind of take a look and see all of this stuff accordingly, but that is how we make it. And again, I'm doing this manually at this point in time. Probably not advised by any way, shape, or form, but it is what it is. All right. So, how much? Ooh, we're getting all the borax. All the borax. That's fun. Okay. And there we go. Titanium tetrachloride. And you also get carbon monoxide. Well, it just so happens I do have 48 buckets of carbon monoxide and 24 buckets of the titanium tetrachloride. All right. Now our goal here is to make hot titanium. Hot titanium is magnesium, which we have, with the titanium tetrachloride. And you get these outputs: hot titanium ingot and magnesium chloride dust. Magnesium chloride dust you can actually electrolyze back into the chlorine and magnesium. So the only thing you lose in this entire process is the rutile ore. That's pretty cool, in my opinion. So let's grab some of our conduits and stuff. And I think I've set this one. Yeah, so here's our input hatch right here. So we want to insert on the brown that, and we want to insert the this guy right here. Boom and boom, right? So that's going to be that. We also need to insert, no, not you, not you. All right. We also need to insert, where did that go? Anyways, what? Oh, found it. All right. And then we also need to insert, not silicon dust. I've disabled that for now. We need to insert ourselves some magnesium, which we should have available to us. Okay. And equally, this does not require anything too special. It just requires HV and Canthal. So that should be good to go. That will be good to go. And let's just connect this up with our system. Let's see. Best way to do that. Let's just do this. And we'll come down. And we'll go right through here. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So we have that all configured. So we should be good there. And you know what? Let's just go. We'll make it nice and efficient. We're going to go along there. We're right down here. So we'll just stay with this line that we have. Like so. And we'll put it down like so. So now we have this guy pulling and filling up our EBF, right? 16 buckets worth. Excellent. Okay. So let's just double check. Yeah, we have 8 left. Okay. The last step is we need to get that magnesium in place. So let's change that to insert only. And that should bring in our magnesium. Is it going to work? Please work. Please work. We'll replace some of that. Are you working yet? Where's my magnesium? Hello? Magnesium. Over here. You. Do I not have you to output mode? That could very well be the case. Magnesium. I do not. There we go. Alright, we will extract. Always active. And let's do that round robin thing too, because Yeah, it's fussy sometimes. Okay. Are we producing? Yes, indeed we are. All right. This is awesome. So we got magnesium in there. We have ourselves our fluid in there, which is our titanium tetrachloride. And that is going to get us our first bit of hot titanium. Only the hottest. All right, now we have an output bus right here. And I think I'm going to just kind of go like so. And like so, I guess? Let's see. Is that always active? Yeah, okay. This will be insert with a priority, I guess? Let's see. We'll do a filter like so, and we'll filter it with the hot titanium. Okay, insert, go. All right, so that also gives us the magnesium chloride that we have to deal with. All right, let's head on over here. I don't think I have anywhere for it to go, so there we go. We have titanium, extreme voltage. Okay, this is just a check mark. Sounds good. And titanium complete. Beautiful. And now we can get into a few other things. Mana-infused ingots and EV machine hulls. So EV machine hull is the one that I want above all else. And that's going to require 8 of those titanium ingots. So I'm going to work on that to get ourselves 8 of these things before too long. All right, so there we have it. 8 of them, right? And these 8 need to become plates. Let's go. So it's a beautiful pink color, though, isn't it? I must say. All right, and that requires aluminum cable as well. Ooh, I do not know if I have aluminum cable. Let's first figure out what all we need. So this is just with a wrench. All right, that's pretty standard. Machine casing with an actual wrench, not that one. That one, thank you. There's our EV machine casing. Very nice. And then aluminium wire. No, I do not. Okay. That is another thing that we need to add to our system. Oh, it processes nice and quick. I love it. I love it. That'll be easy peasy. Let's grab 2 of you and... No? Of course not. Why would it make my life so easy? Extractor? No? I'm guessing it's HV. Oh. Oh. Rubber, and it requires a PVC sheet. Oh. Okay. Okay. So we can use this, but we need a PVC sheet. So PVC sheet. Let's see. I think I can just bend one of these. Let's just see. Bend one of those. Yeah, that gives us 4. Okay. So a couple of things that we need to add to the old repertoire here. Not too shabby. Good to know. All right. We'll put that in there. We'll take that out. That's fine. All right. That plus that, I assume it's down here into this assembling machine with some PE equals an EV machine hull. Look at us go. Extreme power to the extreme. Now, we're probably not going to dive fully into EV too quickly, as I don't want to get too carried away. I do want to actually start building a base and things like that before too long. So, you know, that's one thing of note that I just wanted to bring up with everyone as well. So, other than that, I've been sort of just working my way to bring this a little bit more automated. And I was debating just doing like an ender tank, but we have the cabling right here, right? So we might as well utilize it. But yeah, I do need to configure this with a filter. So let's get ourselves another fluid filter right there. Beautiful. Nailed it. I only need the one. That's all we're going to deal with right now. And this will be chlorine. So let's just find our chlorine. That guy right there. All right. So we'll have chlorine coming in here. And then we also need to work on automating it with the rutile and the other stuff as well. Okay, insert on brown. Excellent. Okay, good step. So we have our chlorine automatically coming in now. That's good. We'll be automatically using that. Now we need to bring in our rutile and carbon dust. And I think I want to use another one of those limiters here before too long so that we can get this going. So limiter 1, make. Excellent. Limiter 1, take. Beautiful. And then we need our item conduits. Good. Okay. Dump it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. No. Yeah. Got it. Where are we at here? Chemical reactor. Right there. All right. We got that. We're going to insert with the limiter. That's nice. And we're going to say we need 2 carbon for every 1 rutile. Is that correct? I think so. So in that, it's 2 to 1. Perfect. All right. So in here, we're going to just keep it at 2 and 1, like so. And that way, all that we'll have coming in here is 2 and 1, right? So it won't do anything for a bit of time here, but eventually it will. There we go. That limiter is going to keep it so that most of our stock stays up there, at least until we run out, which we are going to run out. I guarantee it. We will run out way before we get into some of this stuff. The other thing that I really wanted to do is I want to make like 4 of these and just go. And I'm thinking about upgrading all of our inputs over here on these blast furnaces to have these inputs in here instead. So instead of having all of this magnesium dust, if I take out one of these and I change this to this and I upgrade it with that, then it's going to say to only keep 64 in there, like so, which will be quite nice. It kind of just, again, we don't need to load it up completely and all that kind of stuff. So might be a good way to save a little bit of resources. Like we have all this vibrant alloy dust sitting in here, right? Whereas we could literally just boost it up, right? So same thing over here. I think it's full of canthal, right? Same thing over here. It's filled with stainless steel. So these little upgrades, I think, will be very important for us. Let's grab that. And let's change this to this. And we will upgrade that to only limit like so. Good. Okay. And it's going to give us back some other filters, which is kind of nice. There we go. We got some stainless steel that we can put in here. No, it's full. It's full. We'll just put it back in here for now. It'll process it up, and then we will eventually catch up. So those little things, I think, are some of the steps that we're going to go to with these new limited item filters that are really going to help us in the long run. All right, give me a little bit of time here as I want to do a deep dive into the next item that we need to process, which is tungsten. All right, so after some careful consideration for tungsten, I realized that I think I can only get the ore, shellite or tungstate dust from the end. So we haven't been to the end yet. That's the thing. Oh, forgot to, might as well claim these things. So instead I kind of shifted slightly. I made some phosphorus doped wafers. I got some phosphorus dust, some gallium arsenide, and some silicone, and I threw it into, I made another couple of these guys. This is our Nichrome one now, right here, and I got 2 more prepped and ready for just a few more coils, but these are both HV. This one with Canthal, the other one with Nichrome on the electric blast furnace. So we have those ready to go as well. And it kind of leads me. Oh, I did these too. Yeah, eight blast furnace. Yeah, I kind of sort of did that. And we got that. Beautiful, excellent. I think that was all of the quests from there. That's good. I did pick up all the magnesium. That was fine. And yeah, pretty straightforward. So one of the things that I'm kind of curious about is in the mid game here, this says it just requires titanium double plates. So I kind of want to grab a little bit of our titanium. I think it's 8 of them, I assume, for a titanium double plate. Let's just double check that. So in the... Oh, that's not positive. There it is there. In the metal bender. Yeah, double plate, MV level, 2 on the program circuit. Okay, 2, boom. Let's get ourselves a few of these double plates and see what this next step really is. So that should unlock that. That's good. And what does that say? This special plating is used for 2 things. Tier 2 micro miners and the space station assembler. Okay. So tier 2 micro miner. The second micro miner. You'll need that phosphorus in the LV field generator. Oh boy. Phosphorus? That sounds dangerous. That sounds terrible. This uses an extended crafting table, so it's not possible to automate. Woo! Well, that's a doozy. We can build it, though. We can build it. Manganese phosphide wire. How do you make that? I don't have that, but I'm sure we can do it. Manganese phosphide. Phosphorus and manganese. Seems pretty easy. Micro miner engine core? Yeah, that's pretty easy. Yeah, we could totally build this. Stainless steel crate, no big deal. And that guy we can build as well. So, again, I'm not exactly positive. This micro miner can get you bauxite, pyrochlore, copper ore, sphalerite, cassiterite, scheelite, tungstate, and radium salt, as well as the stellar creation data, which will be useful much later. Interesting. This mission costs HV electric pumps and cryotheum dust. Wow. Okay, I don't really know much about these in the slightest, but it does look like all of these, no matter what, do require rocket fuel, which we don't currently have. So, as you can see, it gets you a lot of different potential resources here, which is pretty awesome, to say the least. Oh, and then you can add pumps and cryotheum to get neon, krypton, and xenon. And it is an EV machine, so it's going to use a lot of stuff. But it is bringing in end ore as well, which is kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. Quantum flux, that's pretty cheap as well. So, maybe this is a bit of a goal, right? Tier 2 miner seems pretty good. Again, not too sure if we really have the capabilities to do this, but we'll figure it out. It's kind of weird that this is unlocked for me before the tier 1 because I don't have rocket fuel yet and I haven't made the quantum flux. Rocket fuel's up here, and that's methanol, ammonia, and a whole bunch of things, as well as, yeah, you just need rocket fuel, and that unlocks. So yeah, very interesting anyways, but I guess that's something. What is this called again? Micro miners? Micro miner. I'm just curious as to what the tier 1 gets us. So it looks like tier 1 would get us quite a bit of good stuff, actually. Moon turf, the lithium ore, ilmenite. Yeah, there's some interesting things here. Perfect diamonds, apatite. That'd be nice. Quartzite. Okay, okay. There's a few different things here. You know, definitely something to consider going down that road here. That looks really easy to get to. So yeah, definitely a bit of a stretch goal here. I was very curious to see what all came with that. So the only other thing is this phosphorus doped wafer, or boolie, I should say, requires the clean room, I think. It does clean room and HV. So I'm going to get that ready to go. I do not have source of water in there. I should probably get that handled. I should actually probably get some lubricant or something, but all in due time. The nice thing with the travel wand is you can kind of just teleport through walls, which makes this very nice, to say the least. Just boom, and you're up, and get a little bit of water, and boom, you're back down and in. Isn't that great? I love it. I love it. All right, anyways, that should get us that crafted up as well, which will give us some phosphorus doped wafers. I still have a few more things to deal with in there. We are out of rutile. We've used up all of our rutile dust, which basically means we are stuck on our titanium production at 415 ingots. And the last thing that I did is I set up some quick little level emitters over here. And these are connected to our canthal and our stainless steel electric blast furnaces, okay? And each one is set up to basically have the 2048 emit a redstone signal that connects. I have a machine controller. You can see that in the top left. The machine controller is disabling this from working. So basically stops it in its tracks, which is pretty darn cool. Now, this is also going to be very useful for our hot ingots, right? Anything that's hot is going to go automatically, like our nichrome here, is automatically going to go into our freezer. Well, I don't want to make a whole bunch of freezers just quite yet. So I don't want it clogging up the output of the freezer when we back up on our system. So what I'd really like to do is when we get to a specific number in this storage drawer, for example, like this can hold 2048. So when we get to 2048, boom, it stops producing it, right? And then as soon as we get below, it fires back up again. Pretty straightforward, but a wonderful little piece of automation that I highly, highly recommend for a lot of folks. One other quick tip, because I did it by accident, and I'm just going to bring it to the light, is, yeah, don't put silicone and aluminium on a trash can and accidentally connect item pipes to it and forget. That's about 65,000 resources down the drain. And that's going to take, well, what episode are we on? To build back up. We are building back up though, so that's good. But yeah, when I noticed that one hurt. That one hurt a lot, to say the least. So just be cautious with your trashes and what you do there. I also accidentally trashed out some gold. So luckily that's starting to build up again as well. That is just fine. I've upgraded this one with a emerald, so I'm bringing in more diamonds. The other upgrade that I wanted to just mention as well before we finish up the episode here today is I did also upgrade our polymer to hold with an emerald upgrade. I didn't change anything else in this system. It's still operating the same way. We got a little bit low on pulsating dust with this, but that's because it was producing so many. But it's slowly but surely now catching up. We had no issues with our ender pearls or anything like that, but that'll give us some nice big buffer of 65 0.5K in polymers in case something were to go haywire, right? So just one of those little details. The other thing that I did is I did hydrogen and chlorine in this guy here to make our hydrochloric acid, but that completely drained our chlorine, and by completely I mean big time. So that's another thing that we're gonna have to build back up again over time. So yeah, lots of little details, lots of little things, you know, some positives, some negatives as we go. We are still producing chlorine, so luckily enough it should balance out once we get this fully loaded up. But I don't know if we will, because we need to back up the iron 3 and then the hydrochloric acid. It'll get there eventually. That's the glory of a server. But yeah, it's going to take a bit of time. I might have to try to find a way to boost that production a little bit. So just little details here and there. But for the most part, I think that's where we're going to call it. Or close to it anyways. I think we're pretty much at that point. I don't foresee another way to really proceed forward. I think the next step here is the end. I think we're going to go to the end, and that will be the task with maybe some rocket fuel to get us there and things like that. I would also really like to kind of look at the SMD components a little bit here, and maybe a few other items, like maybe a distillation tower or something. But really, we're kind of working on the into the microverse and the mid-game tabs here. We could also just get the HV circuit assembler, the polytetrafluorylene, fluorethylene. There's a lot of things. The basic air collection, I haven't done any of this. That's a really easy step as well, to kind of go down this whole nitrogen dioxide, acid, all of that type of stuff is pretty easy as well. So there's a lot of different possibilities for us. Same thing with seeds. We can go down that road too. So lots of little victories for sure to be had in this setup. We also have all of that. Wow. Wow. Anyways, fun times. Fun times indeed. Lots to be done, and we need to automate all of this. The other thing of note is, I always kind of said when I got to HV was the time that I needed to start building a base. Right? We've got a nice little home here. Don't get me wrong. It's decent. It's very nice, but it's not a base, right? It's not, you know, the permanent housing. I've kind of just been willy-nilly placing things in haphazard order and fashion, and, you know, trying to keep organized chaos is probably the best way to explain this for almost everything. But it's almost time, I think, to look into starting up a base. I do have maybe one idea, but it's going to require a lot of work as well. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to go too big or crazy on the building. It might be something pretty straightforward, because you have to build so many things that if you make it too complicated, it might turn out to be a bit of a mess. But I also want to have a plan in place, right? So we obviously need a very strong storage. We need to be able to almost infinitely expand on our auto craftables, like so. I'd like to maybe even improve this system, right? We've kind of been playing around with those limiters over here, for example, where this seems to work a lot better. So I might be able to get rid of this whole top row and condense things down and make it a little bit cleaner. So just little details like that, that now that we've progressed and advanced, we have that capability. We need to still also get some resources. I'd like to bolster all of this up like I did with the diamonds here, slowly but surely over time. So there's plenty to do, and I look so forward to sharing and being with you all during this fun adventure in Nomifactory. I'm having a blast, even with my struggles and frustrations at times, but it's been absolutely phenomenal. Next time, maybe to the end, maybe a base, who knows? Thank you all so much. Have a good one.